Welcome to the latest episode of Claw's Corner. Today's guest is an actor and author. He began his career as a Broadway actor in Love for Love and The Member of the Wedding, both starring Glenn Close, and has not looked back since. His television credits include The Jeffersons, Beretta, Roots, In the Heat of the Night, The Brady Bunch Variety Hour, Martin, The Steve Harvey Show, Veep, Everybody Hates Chris, Everybody Still Hates Chris, and many, many, many more. His movie credits include Malcolm X, The Lords of Salem, Dickie Roberts' former child star, Foreclosed, Mega Shark vs. Colossus, Funny People, and once again, many, many, many more. He is most well known as Roger, affectionately known as Raj to his family and friends in the hit sitcoms What's Happening and What's Happening Now. These classic shows tackled issues such as friendships, communication, obesity, divorce, financial struggle, unemployment, poverty, racism, gambling, education, teen pregnancy, adolescence, and of course, the most important issue of our time, bootlegging a Doobie Brothers concert. In 2017, he released his autobiography and a motivational book entitled From Raj to Riches, Overcoming Life Through Faith. It's a personal account of his journey, focusing how he navigated show business and life's difficulties with a religious perspective. So without further ado, please welcome the extremely talented Ernest L. Thomas to the Claw's Corner. Ernest, how the hell are you? Welcome back to my interview with Ernest Lee Thomas, aka Raj, from What's Happening and What's Happening Now, and Mr. Omar from Everybody Hates Chris and Everybody Still Hates Chris. Thanks for sticking around. And now, part two. Paige helped you get in touch with your passion for acting.
Look at you. Oh my God. Rich, oh my Lord. I don't know why that affected me like that, Rich. You know, because again, I'm not so as a member of the Church of God in Christ, I'm not supposed to go and see movies among the heathens, right? The in the world, but not of the world. But I would sneak and do it, and no one in my family is, doing. I just wanted to go and see this. I felt a need to see it. It was in black and white. And Geraldine Page, I fell in love with her. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? What is this thing that's my entire body, has a sort of erotic thing going on.
It's like, what's going on down there?
I'm not lying, man.
Is that supposed to move?
I did not want it to end. I did not want the movie to end.
That's
all right.
funny.
And going home, I just had it. It was still all over me, but I couldn't express it to anyone, because my mother don't watch film or TV. I told her she never watched What's Happening. She loved me, but she was just Jesus. If Jesus was in What's Happening, she would have watched it. Okay.
But so she never saw it even before she died. She never watched it.
If my sister would have it on, like, Mom, come on, Mom, you got to watch your son. She said, oh yeah, I want to watch my baby. Yeah. And she sat there 10 minutes in. I'm not lying.
Did she say that? Go ahead.
No, I would bring friends over. They didn't believe me. I said, tell her. I said, hey, Miss Thomas, I want to put the episode of What's Happening. I want you to, oh, yeah. And they saw, she would go to sleep. 10 minutes in. Thank you, Mom. Thank you. The whole world loves me, but my mother.
I was going to say her two final things before she died were probably like, Ernest, you got to meet your dad. And 2, I want to watch What's Happening Now.
Now that would have been awesome. That would have been. She is. Oh my Lord. Oh brother. That would have been. Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh man.
That's funny. Well, I want to talk about Raj, the college years. I know we're going back and forth a little bit.
Yeah.
So you talked about, TV and everything. So you went to Indiana State University.
Yeah.
And so originally, what was your major and what were you hoping to become?
A social worker. I was determined. Yeah, because I had mission. She was also a missionary in Church of God in Christ, and that's how I became a member. My family are Baptist mostly, but she was our social worker, and she was so nice, and she invited me to church. But she was just a kind soul, and I want to do that for families, and so I was determined to be that, and so I was a late bloomer. It wasn't until my a year on my master's. I did 1 year for my master's degree, but in student personnel to be like a dean or something. I thought, because one of the professors talked to me about pursuing that, but it just it wouldn't go away, it just wouldn't go away. And I really felt, I tell people, man, that it's God when you have something that scares you so much that you feel you can't tell anyone, because they're gonna laugh, and they did when they finally heard. My frat brothers. Of course, the church said I was going to hell. I was going to say, one of you condemned to hell, right? But your frat brothers, your family, no one's like, what the, huh? He what? An actor?
Yeah.
Being the introvert they know and all that, what the hell, right? And I said, so it's God when it seems like something so impossible, so far-fetched, so out of this world that only God can make it happen.
Yeah. No, I love that you believed in yourself and you had your friend believing in you and you did. Was the your frat brothers, was it Kappa Alpha Psi?
Yeah, yes. Look at
I
shout
don't.
out to the Kappas, but they love me now.
Of course they do.
What you say,
Now you're
Rich?
well, you know what? You brought up this I think several times in the book. Success is the best revenge.
Oh, really? Success. It is. It really is the best revenge, brother. You don't have to curse somebody out and yeah, look at me now. You don't have to do all that. Just all they have to do is all those people who doubted me were channel surfing one day and and see me coming out the house. You So
Oh
I
yeah.
said, I can see why people hated, that friends who were actors ahead of me. You can see why they hated you, right?
Well, you know what's
Because
funny?
you were the lead on top of that.
All these people that probably like, I always knew he was going to make it big. I said that
Oh
when
yeah,
I
you
saw
got
him in
oh yeah,
college. I said, Ernie's
oh
going places.
yeah. Oh, you had no liars, Ernie. Didn't I tell you? I'm thinking, no, no, you didn't say that. But I just, oh yeah, because they with their friends, it won't look good. I said, yeah, you did. Thank you, man.
Well,
But
you made a comment about what your mother said. Don't let people take advantage of you. I want to bring up some points where I love how you stood behind what you believed in. One was a Nazi German professor. He gave you a B. You're like, no, I deserve an A, and I don't care what you
yes,
think.
yes,
And the other
yes.
one is when your friend Steve, who didn't respect Martin Luther King Jr. for what he was doing.
Oh man, that was you don't know that's in you until you put to the test. And Steve, who was a white guy, and he actually was my first white friend because Gary was black. Gary was really, pretty much. I mean, he had whites in it, but I didn't interact. I went to all black. Well, no, I had white. I went to all white high school, but it wasn't like I had a friend there. You
Yeah.
know, and so when I went to Indiana State, Steve, uh, who looked like a young James Cagney, believe it or not, he did, and and then that I remember being in one of the dorm rooms, and he and some other white guys just started saying that Dr. King was a problem. And I went, oh hell no. I decided then, to me, and I didn't have the ability to agree to disagree, but I'm not gonna hate on you. I'm just not gonna talk to you anymore. So
Yep.
I would just excommunicate you
Yep.
because I feel you gave me no room. Like, well, you know what? I could see this, but when you say there's a blanket, no, yeah, he ain't. He's just this.
Yep.
He's just this one color. He's just this one hate. I mean, he's the problem, and there's no give. There's no give. I excommunicated, and I did the same thing with the church. Church of God in Christ, because I didn't think I had the ability to do, but because they taught us to have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, I know I could because Christ had given me the authority. Oh, I realized. I see now, God, the church, they are not God.
Hmm.
They did not create me. So you're giving me something they have no idea. It's none of their business. They
Yeah.
can't tell. You can't decide my destiny.
Yeah.
Only based on your theology. So I'm gonna excommunicate you too,
I love
and
it.
I'm gonna excommunicate the Catholics as well.
Hmm.
And any friend that didn't agree. Oh, well, that was that one instance. But the college, the Nazi professor was the worst. Because he started, I'll never forget. He says, I don't like Jews, niggers, and mini skirts, and in that order.
Wow. How do you keep his job? I can't imagine that.
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. I guess he was a great teacher. Knew his stuff, but I don't think anybody really. Again, there weren't a lot of blacks there, so he probably had not had the opportunity to say stuff like that before. And I didn't run in like tell, oh, I got to report you. That was I didn't even think to do anything like that. I was just angry at him. But I remember Paul Goldstein being upset with him, vocalizing in the actual class. And when he did give me that B, I thought that it was unfair. I thought there was an A, and then that thing that he said about you people, you got to learn patience.
Hmm.
Patience. Damn it. He had been drinking. So when I went to see him in his office, he had been drinking, and obviously he had been in he was a veteran because he had his uniform on a hanger.
Yep.
And I remember the fire just, it was just a rage, was all over me. And not that I wanted to hit him, but I could just, I could just burst, I could explode just standing there. Because I could not believe how what a bigot he was. Eventually he was reprimanded, and then eventually. I believe he committed suicide. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I can't say it for sure. No lawsuits here. Okay.
No lawsuits.
Uh,
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Allegedly, let's say allegedly. So, but I know that he said that, and and then Jake and I was talking about. Now I had my friend Rick. I don't know if you read about Rick is in there. Rick is my friend. He was my white roommate. We became roommates in my was the sophomore junior year, and we became brothers. That's why he chose me. He saw that I was not studying, and I
Yep.
had 1 point something in my first, in that semester. And so again, like Jake, but before Jake, there was Rick.
Yep.
Before Jake, that was Rick who saw. So he said, "Look, if you're serious about studying, I know your mother, didn't send you here to party and all that, yada yada." And he said, "If you're serious, you can study with me." And brother, that was what a godsend. Rick Nichols. He lives actually in Missouri now. Father of three great children, and literally not a racist bone in his body. He is not he has not changed. He's always because people change, right? I've had friends who were okay for a minute, but then they start drinking and they start telling you racist jokes.
Yep.
But they're like super liberal,
Yep.
but then the drinking brings out a whole, and their wife was like, "Honey, stop, honey. No, honey, you gotta hear this again." So anyway, this jigaboo,
Yeah.
you're like, what? What the?
Well,
But
you know what? I hate when people start a conversation like this. I'm not racist, but
right,
stop right
but
there. Don't even
That's it.
continue.
That's it. You
Yep.
just said it. You just said it.
Yep.
And Rick, he's someone that I could listen to all day long.
Yep.
Yeah, he's just an amazing. I have several friends like that. Rick, Tyrone Dubois, he's like the number one historian for R&B music. You
Wow.
know, and then there's another kid in Nashville, Tennessee. He's oh my God, he's like one of the top engineers. Rodney, what is Rodney's last name? Oh my God, Engel, Rodney Engel. He was my protege. I was managing him, and Maurice Starr actually said he could be the next Elvis Presley.
Wow.
But he couldn't handle it, and I think I understand now because I was angry at him. But I understand, even if a person could, if they can't handle it mentally, it'll destroy them. Even if they have the ability, but the fame, he said he didn't. So he really ran away from it, and now I understand because he's a top engineer in Nashville now. He's in Taylor Swift, Garth Brooks, and all those, But yeah, but back. Forgive me, I'm all over the place,
Oh, no,
but
I
I'm
love this. But no, I was gonna
rein
say we gotta
me
get
in,
all these
rein
people
me.
on the Claus corner. No, no, here we go. Well, all right. Well, let's talk about Rick for a minute because I think, if I'm correct, Rick is the one that brought you to his parents' house, and he said everybody.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Oh my Lord, man. Rick, his parents. I never thought about being, but I mean, it wasn't a thought. It wasn't. It was just like I was a member of the family from day one. I could remember. I told her I could remember your mother's voice. I could remember your father's voice, where he was sitting. The taste of your mother, the bread your mother made, the food we ate. Just feeling safe. You're right. And I was his first black friend, but it was nothing. Obviously, his parents never talked about no difference because it was no big thing to him,
Yeah.
to bring me there. And now I did go to, what was this kid's name? I could see his face. He looked like a tall Woody Allen. And so he was a white, one of the students there, and was on our floor, and he wanted me to come to his hometown, Waynestown, Indiana, right?
Yeah.
So I went to Waynestown, Indiana, and I said, "Okay, brother, but are there any blacks there?" He said, "Well, no, but man, they don't care. No, my church is that." He took me to the church, Rich,
Yep.
and there was like ET from outer space had come, like what, they all staring. He couldn't believe it.
That's
He saw what he never saw that before. And
that's
this one lady in particular just had, she was just disdain. He just couldn't believe it. I said, see, this is what
yeah.
I'm used to it.
It's
I said,
sad
but I
because
understand. Yeah.
no, I was gonna say it's sad because church is like they're going there, and usually those are the people that are supposed to be all welcoming,
Yeah.
all forgiving, and it's like
Yeah.
sometimes they're the most judgmental. And
Oh, yes.
did you ever see the movie Talk Radio? It's a play with Eric Bogosian. There's a reason I'm bringing this up.
No, I heard, I never saw it.
Well,
I
there's a
should see it.
yeah, you should. Well, there's a line in this, and he's talking about people being racist. He goes, "What do most white people like to do in the summer? They go out and
Okay.
they like to get a tan.
Oh
Why
my
are you
God.
prejudiced?"
Oh, hold on. I
Okay.
know that my battery is trying to go out on me here.
Oh no, we
Oh,
can't.
Lord.
We're
Okay.
not even. We're not even a quarter of the way done talking. We have a lot more to talk about.
Okay, no, we're gonna let that happen. Hold on. Oh my Lord. Okay. Hold on. I
All right, this is.
almost
We're
turning
gonna
to the
need the Lord's help
rescue.
now.
Oh my Lord. Is it getting? I know it's getting dark. Hold on here.
Take your
Wait. Oh,
time.
I got it. I got it.
All right.
Okay. I got my portable. Oh my Lord. Okay.
Thank you, Lord.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay.
All right, and we are back
We're back.
with Ernest L. Thomas.
Woo! That was close.
I
Okay.
know. It was
But
just
the
getting good.
judgmental, yeah, the judgmental, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, that's always surprised. Well, Dr. King said the most divided hour and day is Sunday, you know,
Oh
is
yeah.
Sunday, you know, because you can't, people can talk about they crying all in church and praying, but if you walk in there, you're not welcome, you know.
It's
So I just thank God that I never had that
yeah.
from my uncles. I know, and my mother, you know, as I mentioned in the book too. I don't know if I mentioned it in the book or not, but she said, "Son, I can't say that I went through any in Mississippi." And I said, "Mom, come on now.
Yeah.
You had to have gone." She said, "Son, I can't lie to you. You know, that might have happened to other people, but I never experienced it as a child or an adult." She said, "That's me."
Wow.
She swears that she never has. She said, "But I know, you know, the people had gone through stuff, and she know about hangings there, but she said, I cannot tell you, oh, I was called a name or was treated a certain way."
Wow, that's amazing. Because I
Yeah,
know
right?
my brother's in the military, my uncle was in the military, and I know they were talking about Meridian, Mississippi, and this was not even that long ago. They were saying it's really racist down there, and he was telling me some
Mm,
of the stories about that, and I said, wow, it's still like that. This was just maybe 15, 20 years ago, so not that long ago.
wow.
And you know what's funny? I mean, in this, so all you were this was happening in the 70s to you, or what we're talking about right now, right? In the 70s?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah.
what
When I was a kid, that was that like grade school.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, grade school, junior high. Because every summer we would go. You know, we would go to we would go to the south. But as far as an adult at Indiana State, they did have at in Terre Haute, the KKK marched every year in the parade, and they had their whole cape, yeah, the cape on. I remember vividly when Dr. King got assassinated, and then the blacks were upset and rioting. White kids I felt were my friends coming out the elevator with rifles because they had hunting rifles because they were from different they were allowed to have that,
Wow.
the hunting rifles. But I remember them coming down with rifles saying kill the niggers, chanting kill the niggers, kill the niggers. And
Wow.
I'm against the wall as they're watching out, and it's like this is a movie, right? This can't be real, right?
Huh.
The same people that Ernie, hey, my buddy, but I will never. But again, yeah, I have again. I will say for my mother, yeah, when I did her book in Conversations with My Mother, that was in maybe 2003 or
Mhm.
2004, like that, 2004. Um, and in there, I just asked her questions about her life. So that's when she revealed that no, she had not. She's seen it. She remember the people being hung. She remember that her brother's um, her brother's son had been accused of raping a white lady. Oh, attempting to rape her. And
Yeah.
what happened? He was drunk, and you go to the wrong house because the poor whites and blacks were close in proximity. You know,
Hmm.
she said that people forget that they weren't like apart, like
Yeah.
you over here, and they were in close proximity. So he went in this house where the white lady was, and she was screaming, and so they were going to kill him. They whites got together looking for him to hang him, you know. And she said it was the white man that was close to my uncle, that like a, 'cause they had like a sharecropper,
Hmm.
so that the owner stood up for him,
Oh, good.
and said that ain't happening. But she saw that. But again, not to her. Nothing happened to her personally. And my grandmother either,
Really?
And I think maybe their faith is so strong that even if it was there, they didn't see it. They chose not to see it,
Yeah.
But because my mother is like that. She said, never, I never ever heard, don't bring a white girl to the house because you have blacks like that now who don't want that, just like there are whites that say, don't bring no black woman, a black boyfriend. There are blacks that say the same. But my mother never had a thing about my mother or my grandma or my uncles,
Wow.
and they all came from Mississippi.
I know.
They
That's really
never,
impressive.
never, I never heard anything like that. Thank God. You know.
Do you think maybe they just chose because of their religious beliefs, they were so strong, they chose to look at the good in everybody and
I
maybe
do.
gloss over? Yeah.
Absolutely, Rick. Come on now. I
Yeah.
said, God,
Yeah.
they don't see nothing. And I'm pleading, come on. You had to have one that happened. Not that it happened to someone else. I'm talking to you. No, no, didn't happen.
Wow.
There you go.
Well, I'm glad for them. Well, I want to go back a little bit. I know we're going back and forth, and I love this, but this
Yeah,
pertains to what we're talking about.
yeah,
I think it's you were one of the few students chosen. I think it was Emerson High School. Is that correct? You
yeah,
think it was
yeah, yeah,
integrated into a white school. What,
yeah, yeah.
is this some of the stories you're telling me right now? Was that part of that school when you were integrated?
Oh yeah, they wouldn't want us. Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
parents actually marching, go back to Africa and
Oh
all
my
that. They didn't want
God.
us there. Yeah, they didn't want us there. No, they did not want us there. And there were a few. I have to say that what I expected, or what people expected, was this big race thing that's going to happen, a race fight. With the white kids against the black kids, and it wasn't there. I think it was just this, what you call it, this divide,
Mm,
this politeness, but not, no one really, you didn't see white and blacks as friends. You saw white with whites and blacks with black. There were Latinos there. I learned about Greeks, and the people who were Greeks or Italian, but they were all in the white category,
yeah.
and I remember they reprimanded the history teacher there, who's a white woman, that said we had not achieved anything as black people. Yeah, and that was hurtful, of course, but they reprimanded her. And but the last year they elected, they was it last year or what, one of the years, I can't think of, I could see his face, but he was elected the president of the student body, a black kid. So he became quite popular, and I can't think of his name. I wonder what he's doing now. He was very intelligent, very smart. And then there was a music teacher, Miss Nichols from Tennessee. And what a sweet lady, had that southern accent. And as soon as I hear that southern accent, I'm thinking, oh Lord, where's
I
the
don't have a
rope?
chance.
Yeah, where's the rope? He got, and she was so sweet, man. And I was in the men's glee club and a cappella and also, but she was just such a sweet, and you knew she loved, she had this love. Um, and I used to have a thing about Southern accents. If a white person had but back to Rick is became he became a Navy SEAL,
Wow.
or a Ranger, Air Force, a Ranger, Army Ranger, Army Ranger, Air Force Ranger. He gonna slap,
It's Army
but he's
Ranger.
very intelligent, very intelligent. Became a professor. He worked at a bank.
Wow.
Uh, he's just a person that if he wants to do it, he's gonna do it. And his kids are just as just, and again, a great wife, Lynn Nichols. Lynn is his wife, and this is a great family, man. You will want a family like that, and the
Yeah.
grandkids and everyone. I was just blessed to have him. So it's 56 years now. We've been 56, going on 56 years, and we call each other twice a month,
Wow.
probably go over the same thing.
I love it.
Remember then? But and then we try to as you get older. And what was the name of that? And certain things you can't Google. You can't Google. Who was that guy that sat next to me in English class that had the wild haircut? No, I can't Google that at all.
Yep.
Right?
And just give it a couple more years, and soon it'll be like having the conversation for the first time. Oh yeah, I remember. That's funny.
Oh man, but yeah, really blessed to have and oh, okay. Who was? Oh, Malik Kalanji, another great kid, man. This kid is like the poet. He's a vegan. He's just we are the world. You know, people. He is genuine. We are the world. Everybody, kumbaya. That's really him.
Yeah.
And and people used to say when he came, he moved from Florida. He was married to the devil's daughter. He divorced, thank God. Yeah. So he came here and people said, "Is he for real?" I said, "That's him."
Wow.
No, he's not pretend. That's him. All, hey, what a beauty! Look at the color. Oh, how beautiful the color purple in the tree. Oh, look at the flowers. Look at the. That's him. You know. So and then I have a couple. Kirk Roberts and Lois Roberts. They drive me around now because I had a head-on collision and they're this Christian couple. They're retired, so they have been a blessing to me. I know I the so rein me in, right? So
Oh no,
I'm
no,
going away off,
no, not
but
at
I
all.
just want to mention people that I'm blessed to have. You know, of course, my sister Rosalie, my niece Letitia Sanders, my heart, and her two kids, Chantel and Bella. Our godson T'Challa. I'm trying to think. Kevin Brittenham, another brother called Grand. He's like the wisest man you ever want to meet. Um, that's mentioned Jake. I'm trying to think of ministers. Oh, and at our church, West Angeles Church of God in Christ, Bishop Blake, you know, who's retired now. His son has taken over. But the reason I said I would never join the church because I just want to, go to different ones.
Yeah.
But hearing him, what about 6 years ago now, maybe, I got baptized for the first time. I didn't realize I don't know why they never brought that up, but I was baptized at 60 something, 16, I think I was
Wow.
69 or something. But Bishop Blake is one of the most sincerest pastors you want to hear. It's real. He ain't got all the
Yeah.
loud, but
Yeah.
just that since that it's like Christ is with him
Mm-hmm.
without a doubt. And his son has taken over, and he's done an excellent job. He's Charles Blake the second, and so I'm just blessed. Now I still have. I don't know about you. I'm gonna ask. I still have a thing though about trusting people.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so because I was that, as my mother say, overly nice and got stabbed in the back or betrayed and talked about, uh, and people switching up being not racist, but then getting drunk and telling a racist joke, or a black person just jealous of you and saying one thing in your face behind you. So I have very few friends, and those people I named, there might be someone I'm missing, but I don't trust. Even at our church, there was a prophet there who I met. God rest his soul. God blessed me with this prophet. He literally died twice having a heart attack, and then, as you know, saw heaven and
Yeah.
came down with things that everything he told me became true.
Wow.
And before he passed away, he said, Ernie, you, but he was asking me, he was just, oh, there are good people here. As a prophet, I love you, but no, I will never get in anybody's car here. I won't go home with them. I will never eat their food. I'm not going to lollygag and go to lunch or dinner with them. And if they push me, I will say that, look, with all due respect, I can't invest in new friends.
Yeah. No, you know what?
I
I
know,
don't
I
blame you.
see you. I don't know if yeah.
No, no, I was gonna say I love this, and that's I don't even want to rein you in because I love this, and it shows that like all the everything you're talking about, all the people that supported you, all the people that backstabbed you, made you who you are today, and the reason that you trust people, why you don't trust people. And one example, we're gonna jump ahead a little bit, then we're gonna go back, was
Yeah.
that when you had your house, you had an open door policy for parties, and your brother came over, and one of your supposed friends spread this vicious rumor about you and almost ruined your career.
Oh my Lord. Yes, that one. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Woo, okay. That was a tough, that hurt deeply.
Yeah.
And yeah, that yeah, and I gotta mention Fred Joyner real quick. That's another really, that brother has helped me so much. But back to that, there was the friends came from Gary. There was a fight in Vegas they wanted to see. And one of them had a sister, their wife had a sister here. But there was a fight in Vegas, and so then they came by my house in Malibu, and there was a star singer there. Oh, I won't mention the name, but they were they were high and they hit on. They were actually bisexual. I didn't know that. You don't know till they were so high on the whatever coke or acid, whatever they're on. When my friends, who they're pretty people, they're good looking couples. They got that whole Indian and black, and that, as they say in black culture, the good hair, right? And so, unlike mine, yeah, I got Nigeria for
Yeah.
life. But
I'm getting pretty soon. I'll have that Nigerian look too. Give it time. I'm getting it the natural way. It's falling out.
right, right. So when they were hit on like that, and then my brother, who was going out with the girls, and he realized he was gay,
Mhm.
and so he had a lot of his gay friends over at that time, and one guy in particular who had 4 kids, but he switched over, and the kids look just like him. So funny, and they, even I love the fact they love their father in spite of all that. You know how some kids get they love their father, but anyway, he had a crush on me, I guess,
Okay.
right? Well, I know he did, and so when they were there, he runs over to to me, Ernie. You need anything? What can I get you? So they looking like, oh, they had to look like we had a. He was acting like we had a relationship.
Hmm.
So the one friend, not all, but the one friend went back and said that I was having these bisexual orgies, or that I was bisexual, or just gay. Not even that. Not I take that back. No, another friend said that. There was another
Oh
friend
my
that said I
God.
had the orgies. Yeah, I had superpower. I had the men and women. Yeah, they were my sexual power. Whatever so, but the friend from Gary just said, that I was gay, and so, that hurt, and I didn't find out till the brother told me. The brother told me what he had said, and then I spoke to him about it. He was hurt. Obviously, it hurt him that I said I was gonna excommunicate him. I didn't want anything else to do with him
You
because
should.
I do believe my friendship is a gift from God.
Yep.
I can't play baseball with you in bid whist and spades and any of those card games. I can't do anything. But as far as you can out from me, you can't out love me, you can out thoughtfulness me, you can't out care. That's me.
Yep.
Again, born that way, a caretaker. So when you betray me, I feel like, wow, you really are, you gotta be a devil, you know? And but I will say I knew he was sorry for it, and I forgave him. But if you saw the film Doubt, Rich, when you put out if I put out a lie about you, gossip,
Yep.
and the priest that said the lady said that she had done it and she felt so bad she put out this gossip, and how can I take it back? He said, well, go to the roof, go to the roof and have a pillow and cut that pillow open and shake out all the feathers.
Hmm.
And if you can find every feather, then you can take it back, which means you can never. Some people will always say that no matter what. They'll always believe because your friend said it.
Yep.
It wasn't someone that was an enemy, like Judas with Christ. It's someone that is your friend.
Yeah.
So it gotta be true, right? So and then I had to use the fact that you're gonna have people that are jealous. They're just gonna be jealous of you.
Yeah.
You know, and jealous of the fact you're happy. I mean, I've had. Why do you smile so much? Why is that a problem?
That happens to me a lot too. People are like, when I did stand comedy, you're like, why are you always so happy? I said, I'm having fun. You're having fun, and people, and even when I talk about my childhood, people are like, I never heard anybody talk about their childhood so in such a joyful way. I said, it sounds like you're
I
jealous of me,
love it.
and people will say, people are do get jealous of
They're
other people's
jealous,
happiness.
yeah.
It's
When
sad.
they look at you, yeah. When you talk about the cerebral palsy, and yeah, yeah. I can understand when people it's touching, but when you can make light of it,
Yeah,
and still, yeah. Oh man, and that's a gift.
yeah.
That's the gift. We smile because God given us a gift of love, man. And self-deprecating. Yeah, I tell people, you know, yeah, I'm not doing all this. I say about, yeah, friendship, but other areas I know if anyone's gonna fall if we're walking, I'm gonna fall.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the one to fall. If we're eating, I'm gonna get something on my white suit. And no,
No, I love
if I'm
self-deprecating.
about to give a speech, I'm gonna stumble up to the podium. All right, I'm gonna fall on my face. That's gonna be me. Why? I don't.
No, was that I love the fact, just like me, you could joke about yourself. Like I always tell people, it's like, yeah, I want to get an operation on my hand. I don't want to make this hand like this. I want this hand to be like this. I said, this thing is a party favorite. I love this thing.
I love it. I love it, man. Is there a video of you doing the stand up?
I have to see if I could find some because it was on YouTube at one time, and
Yeah.
I wasn't running my YouTube account, somebody else was, and they took it down. But I'm gonna see if I could find something. I'll
Okay.
send it to you. But you would like it.
Please do. I would love to see it, man.
No,
Or even your motivational speeches. I'd love to see that.
all right, I
Yeah.
will definitely. I
Yeah.
told you before because
Okay.
there were people that recorded it, but I gotta find out exactly where it is. But I will send it to you once I
Okay.
get it. Yeah.
All right.
I want to talk about one more story of why, and I completely understand why you don't trust people because you do have
Yeah.
that superpower with not only men, obviously, but women as well. Because let's talk about the time you had the job and the woman said, Ernest was sexually harassing me.
Oh my Lord. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Yeah, so I was at this all white. That was I needed money to go to acting school, so I got hired at Midwest Steel Mill in Portage, Indiana, predominantly white, almost all white, and then I was in the human relations, and I was being groomed to take over that department. And this girl, her name was Carol, and we would just hit flirting with each other, and she come into during lunch hour, she come in, and yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's a proper thing to do, but it was mutual. It wasn't like I'm like, hey, you better give me some, it was,
Come on.
I gotta have it, right? It was like we were both, and we were getting some heavy pet,
Yep.
foreplay,
Yeah.
and the next thing I know, I'm being called by the head of the department and his associate, and I can remember because one was at the blonde with the blue eyes, and the other guy was the brunette and smoked a pipe. I remember he had smoked a pipe, had glasses, and they said that she had said I had sexually harassed, and I was totally in shock, and because she had been there a while. Of course, it's like I couldn't, nothing I said meant anything else. It's
Oh,
her word against mine.
yeah.
And I was just unbelievably hurt.
Yeah.
I remember that hurt hard. And I will say to her credit, when I was at the American Academy, she sent me a letter apologizing for that.
Yeah.
Uh, But when they were talking to me, even though I felt bad about what they were saying, we might have to, we're reprimanding you now, but it could be something worse later. I knew I wasn't going to be there. I'm like, oh, I got the last laugh, baby. I'm not. I'm going to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. Yeah, but
Enjoy your job at the Dollar Tree. I'll be seeing you later.
You're right. And I will say to their credit, the head guy, and I can't think of his name now. He when I came, they had Ernest Thomas stay,
Yeah.
and he called and wanted an autograph for his children, and I did that. I did that because again, the best revenge,
It's success.
success,
Yep.
right? You know,
Well, you also
and
didn't she say that you inspired her? I think it was writing or something.
yeah, she
Yeah.
did. Oh, yes, thank you. Yes, because she really didn't want to be a secretary. She wanted to manage a band. She wanted to be like a manager, like a rock group,
Yeah.
and she was excited about that. And it's for me to it threw them everyone through I'm going to acting school. I'm leaving there, going to acting school. What? It sounds so insane,
Yeah.
right? And now what, I don't know what happened to her. I hope and pray that she, pursued it in some way. But a lot of times, when they're a big dream, people get beaten down,
Yeah.
and I think you have to have something bigger than this world. And again, I have to go to Christ, and I'm not where I have friends who are atheists. Priscilla Leon, she Priscilla is an awesome. Well, she believes in God, but I have other friends who are atheists.
Mm-hmm.
Um, who are more godly than a lot of church people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth. So someone said, "Oh, and are you a Bible thumper?" I said, "No, because I wouldn't have atheist friends. As long as they're not talking against me. We agree on one thing: doing good things.
Yeah.
They don't attack me for my faith. I don't attack them because they're doing stuff that a lot of people with all that mouth. Oh, Jesus says, they can tell you they every verbatim verses from the Bible. But as far as feeding the homeless, helping children, helping women who are being brutally beaten and murdered every day, by men.
Yeah.
You don't see them doing any of that.
Yeah.
So I said, I have atheist friends, and that piss people off. I have atheist friends who will put Christians to shame.
Yeah. No, I love that. No, I'm going to give you an example of there was this girl I worked with years ago, and she was always preaching to people, saying everybody should go to church. But during the week, she'd be drinking, doing drugs, having sex with all these guys she never knew. And I said, I thought that you believed in God and you were doing God. And she goes, well, I go to church on Sunday. I said, so Monday through Saturday, you could do whatever you want. And I said it seriously. You could do whatever you want. On Sunday, you go to church for an hour and he forgives you? Yes. Why? What's wrong? She believed that. She thought that she could do whatever she
Wow.
wants Monday, and then it's long. But then she would put down everybody else. So she was one of the most judgmental people. But because she went to church
Oh,
for an hour on Sunday, she'd do whatever she would. So I know,
wow.
and like you said, I know people that don't really have any religious beliefs at all. They're more
Yeah.
spiritual than
Yes.
religious, and
Yes.
they're the most
Yes.
nicest, gentle,
Yes.
most
Yes.
loving people. And
Yes.
you were also an atheist for a little while too, weren't you?
Yeah. Wow. I forget all. Like, oh, what? Yes, I was. How dare you? Right.
What'd you call me?
Oh my Lord. I was taking a philosophy class, and I took on the beliefs of the professor, about not that there is no God. And I don't know. Because you're in this class, and next thing I know, I remember the thing that was amazing is all my frat brothers who are, quite the ladies' men, and they were good guys, but they're very popular. They're all good looking guys. They were like, they were really handsome, and the women loved them, right? And but they partying, they smoking weed and all that. When I said that, I remember being at the frat house and saying, "No, there's no God." They went, "Oh no, oh hell." I'm like, what? What? What's going? So all these ladies, man, party animals, right, are defending God, right? It was crazy. Like, I'm like, what? You're not leaving here, you're gonna believe before you leave here. I said, no, hey, look, that's your belief, that's mine. But what happened, because they were so passionate it made me go, when I did go back to the dorm, I said, Lord, if you're real, reveal yourself. Now, how I can't remember, I just remember, I can't explain. It's just a presence I
Yeah.
felt, you
Hmm.
know, and thank God I did, because, especially Rich, again, when I was when I felt I was on a dive doing the freebase and the cognac and the weed, and you're around others that are doing that. So you just have all this negative spiritual energy, and you're gonna die if you keep doing the freebase. Your heart can't take it.
Yep.
And to the point that when I really broke down rock bottom, and I have friends, and we disagree on that. They're in AA and NA and CA and Cocaine Anonymous and narcotics. And I believe I knew I was going to be cured. So I don't.
Yeah.
So I said, "That's your thing. I don't. If that works for you, I'm not going to knock that. But I will never say I'm an alcoholic. 'Cause that's gone. When Christ took that away 35 years ago, I mean, again, I pinch myself because you could have told me that I wasn't going to die doing that. But
Yeah.
God is real. He is real. I tell people, I don't care what you've been through, what you've done, how despicable it was. If you open up your heart and ask for forgiveness, now people are gonna still see you a certain way. You know, you have those friends who give you the shade. Like
Right.
you're. I remember I was a speaker for this one guy had a charity, and I would go and MC it and talk about what I've gone through, and people cheer you on. Then he get up there, yeah, well, I never did drugs, and I never ever drank in my life, and so one I said, I gotta call you on that because I know what you're doing,
Yep.
and I just want to let you know, God never used people like you.
I love it. Yep.
Everyone that God used was fallible. They had done despicable things. Paul, who wrote most of the New Testament, killed Christians, persecuted Christians. David saw another man's wife, Bathsheba, and had her and loved it so much. It was so good. I'm sorry.
It's getting back to the Geraldine Page days.
Yeah, go ahead. Exactly. I gotta kill the husband. He had Uriah killed. He can't. That's mine. That's mine. And I said, but God forget. I said, so I know. I said, so I said, I want you to know that doesn't. I'm not. Oh wow, you never drank and all that.
Yeah.
God never used any perfect person
Yep.
but Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Everybody else was flawed, right? Even Peter, God bless it, denied Christ 3 times.
Hmm.
So I said that. So I said the prodigal child. That is what I am, I said, and if you read on it, if you really want to know what Christ thinks of it, he said, if you have 100 sheep and the one goes away, right? You go after that one, and you're so happy that he comes back to you.
Yeah.
You're so happy that heaven celebrates that one more than the 99 that stayed.
Mhm.
Back at you. Okay, I'm sorry. But
No, I love this.
shut up. Yes.
No,
But anyway,
not at all.
uh
No, you know why I
yeah,
like this?
because
Because
okay.
I want to interrupt you for a second because I love this because that's why I love when you're name dropping all these people because, like you said, God puts people in your lives to
Yeah.
help you when you need it the most, and maybe you don't even realize that you're getting the help at the time. But then you realize,
Yeah.
like, why? This is why when, like, say something bad happens to you, and you're like, why the hell is this happening to me? Why would God do this to me? And then a couple of years later, maybe even sooner, you're like, oh, thank God that happened to me because that puts you in a direction that you never even knew existed. Some doors that opened that you never even knew were there.
Yes. 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 You want to, like, even when I look at the drugs, oh my Lord, I think all that I had to go through
Yep.
because my faith is so much stronger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is so much now. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. I would not.
There might be an easier way to find God.
Yeah, and the sciatic nerve pain that hit me several years ago, where I was crying going to the emergency. Again, like, Lord, if this is gonna continue, just take me. I know God is so tired of hearing that, right? Just take me, Lord. And then when this accident happened, I had, Rich, for the first time, depression,
Mhm.
because it's head-on collision, and I at that time was 73. I think I was 73. I'm 76 now, and you don't know that that's going to happen. And again, it reignited the pain of the sciatic nerve, and but I felt like I was losing my mind,
Yeah.
and I never appreciated depressed people. I mean, you just thought, well, hey, just pray, it'll go away. But no, they just like you have a doctor for the heart and all that. You need a therapist, right? So my doctor recommended a therapist, and thank God, Sabrina Russell. She was a godsend. God brought her. Tammy Mack. I got to mention Tammy Mack. Uh, Don Welch, Don B. Welch, also a good people. And Tammy Mack, she works for Stevie Wonder's station,
Oh, really?
KJLH. She has her own show, and Rich, she has a show called Happy, and it's like, what was darkest time in your life, and how do you get to happy?
Hmm.
So all these top celebrities she interviewed, because people think they don't have any, we don't have any
Yeah.
problems, and man, it will break your heart. But also you'll know that, oh, there's joy in the end, you know.
Yep.
But I had to mention her, Tammy Mack.
Well, I
You
can tell
got to
you
see that.
sorry, I want to elaborate on that for myself.
Yeah.
Here's what I do is like, and people get mad at me when I do this because my brother's wife died not too long ago of pancreatic
Mm.
cancer. And so whenever somebody, and I even do this to myself, like say if I'm getting depressed about something, or give you an example, my fiance Sarah would get angry about something. I say my brother's wife was named Lean, Lein,
Oh,
and I said, I bet you
oh,
wish Lean had your problems. You don't understand. I said, I do understand. Your problem is really nothing if you look at it. And sometimes, like if I get down on myself, which I very rarely don't, I'm being
yeah,
completely
yeah,
honest.
yeah.
My life so far has been smooth sailing. The first 6 months to a year and a half were horrible, and then after that, it's been smooth sailing. But
Yes, yeah.
whenever I get down, I'm thinking about like what she went through, the pancreatic cancer, and other people, like
Oh,
stuff that you went through. My father, he has arthritis on his sciatic nerve, so he can barely walk.
oh.
So I'm lucky
Oof.
where I can look. I'm sort of like leave myself, look outside, and say, I have it pretty damn good. My life is pretty good. So I pretty much feel good all the time. So far, nothing
Yes,
major has
yes,
really happened in my life, which
yes,
thank you, God.
yes.
I mean,
Yes, yes. And I want to mention my daughter, Pam Trotter. She's on Abbott Elementary.
okay.
Yeah, she's a recurring role, and she has been a godsend too. She's really a god. But back to when you said appreciating this, I had to go. My godson passed away, so I had to go to Oklahoma, and that was a great celebration of life, but sad too, because he was so funny and loved me, and he had a father, but I felt he was my son. And then I had to go to, I went to the Black Film Festival, but remember they had that in India, they had that air crash, right?
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
290 people died. One guy survived, as you know.
Yeah.
But I saw photos, and I'm in the room like feeling, oh man, I wish I get these shows. I wish they would Herb and Greenlight my shows, and I need to, man, I just need to, I want to produce this, I want to do this. And so I'm kind of being, in that rare time where I'm just kind of beating up on myself about that. And then I'm watching CNN. They have a photo of some of the passengers before they went down, how happy they were.
Mhm.
So they had these Indian doctors, a husband and wife. They're both doctors, and their children smiling, someone taking a photo of them,
Mhm.
not knowing that moments later
Yeah.
And I went, oh, I have no worries.
Hmm.
What am I talking about?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You know, and not only that, there was another crash of 16 people that died, and there was enough people. There were like 3 crashes in a couple of days, right? And you think about, no, I have no. And when you look at, when all things considered, how blessed I am, and friends who are fighting stomach cancer,
Oh.
breast cancer, the cancer thing, the big C.
Mm.
Oh, a lot of, so um, I have a lot to be grateful for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm the same way. I look at the same way. Like somebody brought up a great point. They said, unfortunately, people start to live when it's too late. When they go to a doctor's office, like, well, you have 6 months to live, and they're like, I got to do everything right now. So I had this mentality. I've had it for years. Like I want to do as much as I can while I'm healthy, while I'm having fun,
Yes,
while I'm
yes.
still relatively young. And it's been, as I said, I really have no complaints about my life the way it's going. And people say, well, why do you do all these things? It's like, why not? People get to a
Yeah.
certain age, they think they have to like what's expected of them. I'm too old for this.
Right.
First of all,
Yeah.
you're not too old for anything. As long as you're having fun and you're not hurting
Yes,
anybody else,
right.
hurting yourself, and you're not neglecting your responsibilities, have some fun. So I mean, I have a
Have some fun.
I'm a
Yeah.
financial advisor. That's what pays the bills. I love that job,
Oh,
and I do all
okay.
these different things for fun. Like I've done some acting. I did a. It was funny because I did. There's something called the 48-hour film fest, and I was a part of that.
Oh,
Everybody saw me in that. They're like, oh my god, you got to be a part of this movie. So then somebody, that cameraman goes, you are hilarious. You got to do this. So I've been in like a couple of different movies, and then I went to another convention in Massachusetts, and some guy he makes these. One of my favorite horror movies is the original Halloween, and
yeah.
he makes fan films. He goes, you are like one of the coolest people I ever met. I want you in my film. So I've been in one so far. I'm going to be in a couple more. And
What?
why do you keep
Okay.
videos? Yeah, so it's on YouTube. I'll send that one to you as well. I play
You
a
like it?
video host. I loved it. I would love to do more. And even perfect example. I just last weekend I went to one of my favorite rock operas of all time is Jesus Christ Superstar. I love that. I love
Oh,
the
yeah.
music. I love the
Yeah.
story. And I actually had Ted Neely on the show. He goes,
Oh,
he was
man.
like he was saying, he goes, how did you know all this stuff? Where'd you do your like he was so he goes, I have to stop you. He goes, this is one of the best interviews, and he was so nice and down to earth. But when I was really getting into it, I know all the songs, I know all the words, and I was
I
dancing
love
around.
him. I just want to add that just real quick. I love him. Go ahead.
All right,
Yeah,
good.
I
No,
love
he's
him.
the best. Have you ever met him?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. I was fanning out. Yes, yes.
Oh wait, were you there the same year as Chiller, right? In October, a couple years ago? When you
Yeah, was that a chiller or was
Yep.
it the Hollywood show? I'm not sure.
No,
But
it was
I
that was the
know
first
I
time I
said,
met you and D.
was he there at that one?
Yep, that was it. I
Oh,
remember.
then I'm at it. Yes, I was huge. Still am. I have to play. I only want to say, the when he's in the Garden of Gethsemane,
Oh
that
my
song,
God!
that song, I'm getting chills right now. By the way,
And you know what's
right now I'm bathed in chills just thinking about his voice. Yeah,
and he can still do it. Not, I
he
mean, it
can
was
still
two
do
years
it.
ago.
Yeah,
He was still. I saw a video of him 2 years ago, still singing that song, still getting those notes. Oh my,
my Lord,
amazing.
my goodness.
But the reason I brought that up was like afterwards, everybody's like, "You need to do some more acting. You should be up on stage. You're so animated. You're so much fun." And so yeah, I really would love to do some more acting. I've done a little bit of it.
Please
The
do
stuff I've
that,
done.
Rich. Please do that. I can
Yeah,
see you having fun.
yes,
And that's why because you have fun with it, it's going to be believable.
yes,
You want to do it. I can see you have a passion for it. And I
yes.
tell people, I'm telling a young man, yeah, that was pushing me in the wheelchair. I said, you know what? You don't have to have it as a career. Everybody should have take an acting workshop or being like your local comedy, your acting, whatever, because it's cathartic for the soul and your mind. You can do things that you can't do in ordinary life. So if you want to cuss the boss out, you can write a play about your kids and tell them, be really say everything you want to say, right? Or your husband, you can have to create a scenario and said, look, and tell your teacher, I want to, hey, help me with write this scene, right? And it is so cathartic. So everybody should take, whether they want to do it for life or do it, to be seen, just for your own soul
Mhm.
and peace of mind. You should do it.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
I agree with that, and it's funny because when I was doing motivational speaking, I would say instead of just existing, live. Get out of your comfort zone. Try something that you're not comfortable with. After a while, that's gonna become comfortable. Then after a while, try something new. Don't just
Yes.
because I can't stand a life where it's like, all right, let me wake up, eat, go to work, come home,
Oh my
eat,
God.
go to bed, wash, rinse, repeat. I need when people say, well, why do you do those things? It's like I want to actually have fun, and I have so many different interests. I want to try so many different things. That's
Yes.
why I'm doing comedy. That's why I'm doing motivational speaking. That's why I'm writing books. That's why I'm acting a little bit. And you're right, it is cathartic. I just get up there and become this whole different character, and I really get into it, and I'm having the time of my life.
Yes, yeah, and I even now in my room, my niece and my sister and my niece's little ones, they think I'm a little crazy because I'm in here doing voices, I'm doing scenes, Rich,
I
because it
love it.
just comes to me, and I'll be talking, doing voices, and then I found when cause my niece adopted these two beautiful kids when they were little. Now they're 10 and 12, 9 and 12. But when they were little, they liked the scary stuff. So I started this sort of witch thing. And the scary part about it was that it scared me because I kept bringing it where it was like, okay, why am I sounding like this though? Like, and so it was like a female, and I think of course, I've watched The Wizard of Oz and
Yep.
all those stories, but I had my own thing, and then to the point the kids, Uncle Ernie, do it again, do it again, and they like love to be scared, and and I Rob Zombie, God bless him, I
Lords of Salem.
do a movie, and he had to take me out, cut me out of it. He said, "Well, I did that for Rosario Dawson and others. It wasn't because of your acting; it just didn't fit or whatever." And he was like a big fan, and when they did a documentary on me, he came to
Yep.
TV1 and spoke on my. But I want to do a successful movie with him, like a big blockbuster horror thing, and I have a character in mind with that witch's thing that comes out of me. That the scary part. I was talking to a minister because I felt I need to talk to a minister, several ministers, like doing that. What portals am I opening up?
Hmm.
All right. And they said that's the danger because you don't know, you were just trying to scare them, right? And you found something or something came to you, right? And so that, the Bible says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness in high places, rulers of darkness, principalities. So that's a real thing,
Yep.
and I'm very sensitive to spirits. I can feel when I come into a room if there's a person dangerous, a person who's shady, whatever. I can feel that
Hmm.
just as clear as night and day. And so the fear is, I want to do it. I feel, you know, can I do it and come back?
Yeah.
Because I don't win in the story, you know.
Yep.
My intention is not, I'm not being a witch and evil to be evil. It's to get back at someone who did evil to me.
Yeah. No. I.
Right. So that's his reasoning is that, okay, I'm so tired of being uh persecuted and put down or whatever that he this thing. So but I wanna, I'm debating that one. But I think it will be a blockbuster. But if I would, again, am I going to be a different person? Because that, like Robert Blake, when he did In Cold Blood, he had to be committed
Yep.
to a sanitarium because the people don't. actors we have to channel spirits.
Oh yeah.
So when a camera comes on that close up in your eyes, the audience believe you because you've actually channeled. You are a killer. You are that murderer. You
Yeah.
are that child molester. You are that wife abuser. But then you gotta, after that movie is over, you gotta exercise that out of you and be, I'm a father to the kids, and I got a mother, I gotta be the son. But if you don't, that thing lingers, and that's why a lot of actors become mentally unstable or alcoholics and drug addicts. You look at Vivian Lee, who won 2 Oscars,
Oh yeah. Yep.
for Streetcar Named Desire and Gone with the Wind. And there's a later in life she started doing movies, and she would do lines from other movies in the new movie. And at that time it was called bipolar. She was doing it was, they said she was probably bipolar. But and Denzel, I was told that when he did Training Day, he had to be exercised from that. So just pray for me that if I do this,
Yep. Well, I think I
next
never.
time you see me, I'm like, who? Rich. Rich. Yeah.
I'll be like Father
What the
Karras in
hell?
The Exorcist. I cast you out. I cast you out.
Yeah, you got, yeah, you.
The power of Christ compels you. I'll just take every line from The Exorcist.
The Exorcist, right? What was it? What was it? The front.
The power of Christ compels you. The power.
Right. That's right. That's right. The Exorcist. Oh, but that one I want. Then I was uh uh this director wanted to do one that I said I know I won't do, where he's this older actor. He's done he's done more Shakespeare than anything, and he's a renowned, like a Paul Robeson, but now he has Alzheimer's.
Mhm.
And so he's fighting it, but it's coming into his work. And so I said, no, I don't want to go research and try to channel the Alzheimer's,
Yeah.
because I don't know if I will come out of that.
Oh man. Yeah.
Because I did a thing where I stuttered.
Yeah.
And I didn't get the role on top of that, but I won roles. It was so bad, and the guy that stuttered, and I went around people that stuttered and got it down, man. And Rich, even so, they passed on me, and my friends like, Ernie, what the hell's wrong with you? I was stuttering. All this went on for weeks. I could not help. I was stuttering because I had. And they went, man, stop that shit. Stop that. Come on.
I guess if we're telling the truth now, all I did was play a role of somebody with cerebral palsy. I really don't even have. I just can't. I just can't get out of it now.
Yeah, you can say what? I got so into it, right?
I'm like a regular Daniel Day-Lewis. I really
Right, man. Yeah. Oh my Lord.
Well,
Now it's cathartic for me just being in the room here. I entertain myself, and then I like to look at, there's on YouTube there's a site where they have clips from movies.
yeah.
Sometimes I want to see the whole movie. I
Yep.
just want to see, this clips from it, and the one is This Is 40, and oh gosh, she's so funny. The heavy set comedian. Oh, she's on Saturday Night Live a lot. What's her name?
The newer seasons. The newer seasons.
Uh,
The newer
yeah, she's
seasons.
not going to regular. She's not actually hit movies. She was in
Let's see.
a Bridesmaid. She got nominated for.
Oh my God! Hold on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look it up while we're doing it because
yeah, she was in Bridesmaids, and she got nominated for Best Supporting, which um a lot of comedy don't get nominated, but she got nominated. And oh God, what is her name?
Kristen Wiig. Kristen Wiig.
No, not her.
Oh, oh wait, Melissa McCarthy.
Yes.
Yep, Melissa
Oh my
McCarthy.
Lord.
Yep. Jenny
Oh my
McCarthy's was it their cousin? I think.
Huh?
I think it's Jenny McCarthy's cousin. I think it is.
Is it?
I think
Oh,
they're
I
definitely
didn't.
related. Yeah, but yeah,
Oh, brother. that girl, that woman is so damn funny. So this is, I just have to look at it. I've seen that scene, but it's a scene in the office with the principal, and she's the couple. They had an argue. She had an argument with this couple over their kids or whatever, but just hilarious moments like that. And there's other movies too that I have to, and some are dramatic too. Just
Yeah, yeah.
some dramatic scenes that but I get off. I said, so I'm not fun at a party because
N-
I don't do the card games. I don't do the dominoes. I don't do the checkers. I don't do the chess. I mean, I would like to learn the chess. I
Yeah.
think. I think I will learn the chess. But so my thing, if you want to really, we can talk about go and see a play or be in a play together or do scenes together, right? But no one wants to do that but me.
I'll do it.
Even though the actors don't necessarily want to get together, right? So I just have a party. I have like six different people going on here, and I record it. Some things I record that I use later. And some are one-liners, that oh my God, that is so funny. Oh, where is it? I got to put that there. Something to make people laugh,
Well, if you ever invite me to a
and I
party, no, I was
have.
gonna say if you while you're doing that, so if you ever invite me to a party, I would more than be happy. I would love to act out some scenes with you. That'd be hilarious.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you, Rich.
I would do that
Thank
in a
you.
second.
Yeah, thank you. I know you would too.
Oh my God,
I know you would. Yeah,
that would
we
be
gotta
great.
do that anyway. Where you live?
Connecticut, but I will fly
You in
anywhere.
Connecticut. Okay, so
I have no
we
problem
gotta
flying.
have it. We're gonna do it because I'm doing I want to do a sketch comedy. I am doing. I have a few things I have in mind. I have not put it up yet. I have a new manager. God bless him, Chaz. Another guy, a blessing, Chaz Hayes, who loves God above me, but he's an awesome manager. He was Nick Cannon's business manager for many years, and they're still good. They're good friends, and he manages other people. But uh, he makes sure Ernie. Okay, you said you're going to do that. Okay, where's that? Where's that? Where's the podcast? You won't do. So he's just on top of everything, and so this I've had this one. And over the weekend, I said, Lord, I keep thinking about this scene that is so funny. I just have to stop talking. Now I'm doing the thing that I hate about people, that they talk about it and don't do it.
Let's do it.
So I said, I'm just gonna,
Yep.
and I just saw Quentin Tarantino say it, Martin Scorsese. Well, don't overthink it. Who cares if no one likes it?
Yep.
Who cares
Exactly.
if it's bad, whatever. You gotta start.
Yep. See, I love that. And you know what? As I mentioned before, I will fly anywhere. I would love to be a part of this. My brother's a pilot, so
Okay.
I get free flights. If you tell me
Okay.
to be somewhere, I will get the time off, and we will do
Okay.
it because I would love to.
Okay. All
But,
right. All right. That's a bit. That's a deal. That's
but
a
there,
deal.
but there's a great quote. There's this new horror movie that came out called Bring Her Back. These two twin writers and directors. Uh,
Okay.
from Australia, and they said because they came on, they were just two YouTubers, and everybody's like
Okay.
giving them hell because oh you guys are just YouTubers, but both movies have for A24 like it was made the budget was $4 million, it made $90 million, and
What?
yep,
Oh,
you got to
what's
check it
the
out.
name of it?
What the one that just came out now is called Bring Her Back. The other one that was a huge hit was called Talk to Me. Two great
Okay.
horror movies, low budget, independent.
Okay.
But the reason I'm bringing that up was because they said you're never going to be 100% ready. Just jump in, do it, stop
Okay.
talking about it, and it's exactly what you just said. And they did it, and it's so great because they said everybody's putting us down for two YouTubers. I bet you if all these great people are they said every generation puts down the next generation. I bet you if they had YouTube in their generation, they would be doing it. How do you think we learn? I'm just
Yes.
using this to get to
Yes.
the link.
Yes.
So I love the
Ye-
fact they had the same mentality as you. They're like, let's
Yes.
just and
Yes.
they have just like you, they have such a passion for what they do, and it shows
Yes.
in their work. And there's times where
Yes.
they're like had this huge budget for a movie. They said if we give you a big name actor, if you give we'll keep the budget. And they're like, we like this actress, but she's not really a big name. We don't care. We like her. She's great on film. They cut the budget. They still kept it. And then now that that movie made $90 million and $4 million, every studio's like, hey, sort of like what we talked about
Oh, I
before.
love it.
I
I
always
love
praise
it.
you guys.
I love that. And that's why I was when you look at all the, when you look at even the great directors who were taught by professors, those professors haven't achieved any of that.
Yep.
When you look at the people who taught a Spike Lee or a Quentin or a Spielberg, they were great teachers, but they held back. Even even at the American Academy, they were actors before they were teachers, right?
Yep.
They didn't. It's like teaching became like something I felt. Oh, that's a second thing. If I don't make it, I'll do that.
Yep.
And when you look at Facebook, when you look at uh, any of the inventions, those people taught by these people who are geniuses in their profession, but they didn't have the imagination. That's why I love Einstein so much. That knowledge, imagination beats knowledge every single time.
I love that. Yeah. No.
Imagination beats knowledge. With all, I know a guy that was head of the Screen Actors Guild. I mean, screenwriters, and he had like a stack of scripts. This guy, so he knows all the technique,
Hmm.
but you don't see it. But he hasn't. There's nothing sold
Yep.
with all that, and I feel the imagination is missed, and the faith. The someone said the delusional. I don't know who said. I don't know. It was some actor. Is that you have to believe in your delusion.
No.
Yeah, because
Well,
the thing about it, me coming from, I did the thing in New York, but to come to Hollywood with no agent
no,
and a one-way ticket, and I'm gonna say it, this friend's ex-wife's mother-in-law and this so-and-so sister-in-law on the floor, on the couch, no agent, nowhere to stay. But I believe that Christ is gonna give me my sitcom.
hmm. Yep.
So you can see why. And so even the agent in New York said, "Oh, you'll be back in 6 months."
Yep.
And I'm thinking, and I just said, "You've been excommunicated." I'm
I
looking at
love
them. They don't know. I'm smiling. They don't know that's my words. You've been excommunicated. And so within a year, and again talking about going at it as if you're, I said, the secret is, yeah, I believe God above it all, putting God first, but that God never lies. But you got to do your part. You got to act as if every day is your last day on earth.
hmm. Yep.
So I worked at it like I didn't want to die that day, not pursuing my dream.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I tell my haters, that's the difference. I even put a post up about that. All you haters, the thing is, you didn't have the leap of faith.
yep.
You take a leap of faith. I took a leap of faith. I endured a river of tears, crying myself to sleep with a headache, worry, anxiety, all that, being rejected over and over and over and over and over and over again, and said, "No, I'm not going home."
Yep. No, I love that story. And there's so many other people that, like, I'll give you one example of another person that has that same mentality. Was Stephen King. When he was first started writing his books, he put a little nail on the wall and he put every rejection slip. He said the nail fell off the wall because it was so heavy with all the rejection slips. So he got a spike,
Wow.
and he just kept on doing it and doing it. And for you, I love this because you got rejection after rejection after rejection. I think it was after 9 rejections.
Yes,
You met
yes,
somebody named Tom Corman. Let's talk about that.
yes,
And you
yes,
said,
yes.
if I don't act, I'm going to die. That's how
That's
passionate
right.
you are about what
That's
you're going to
right.
do. Thanks for sticking around and watching my conversation with author, actor, and motivational speaker Ernest Lee Thomas. Don't miss next week's exciting episode as we continue with all the fun and hijinks with Ernest Lee Thomas here on the Claws Corner.